Right, welcome and good morning, wonderful listeners, and welcome to another edition of Glaucoma on Radio, proudly brought to you by, yes, the Eye Specialist Hospital Tesh Enugu in partnership with Solid 100.9 FM. Well, my name is Chibika James, and it's always a pleasure having you join us every week as we continue to raise awareness about glaucoma, a silent but potentially blinding eye disease that often progresses without obvious symptoms until significant vision has already been lost. Well, today's discussion is one that concerns every drivers. Be you a motorcycle driver, keke, vehicle, trailer, anyone, not just drivers, every passengers, and indeed everyone that uses our road. Yes, and our topic is behind the wheels with glaucoma, driving safely and responsibly. Behind the wheel with glaucoma, driving safely and responsibly. And in this topic, yes, so many people believe that if they can see the road, especially the road signs, if they can see clearly ahead, then they are safe to drive. However, glaucoma often affects something much more important, and that is your side vision, also known as your peripheral vision, and it plays a major role in detecting pedestrians, motorcycles, vehicles approaching from the sides, and unexpected dangers on the roads. Now, this means that someone living with glaucoma may unknowingly have difficulties to reacting to hazards while driving. And to help us understand this important subject, we have with us an experienced ophthalmologist from the Eye Specialist Hospital, Dr. Suhaya Okeke. Doctor, good morning and good to have you.
Good morning and good to be here.
Right, Doc, and yes, Doc will just help us understand what we'll be talking about right here on today's program. And once again, the topic for today's program is behind the wheels with glaucoma, driving safely and responsibly. Doc, once again, let's start with understanding what glaucoma is all about.
Okay, once again, glaucoma, as we all know, is a blinding condition of the eye. It affects the optic nerve that sends the impulse, the signals we get from outside to the brain for clear interpretation. But there is a problem with the nerve. Gradually the nerve dies off, leading to permanent loss of vision. Unfortunately, at the earliest stages, it doesn't give you symptoms. So it's a leading cause of irreversible blindness. Now, coming to our topic, driving and glaucoma, how do we stay safe and driving? Now, when you have glaucoma, yes, a diagnosis of glaucoma most of the time destabilizes you, as you are being told you are a glaucoma patient, you are a suspect, you have glaucoma, you have early stage, moderate to advanced. Whatever the case may be, it can be distressing news to you as a patient. Now, there comes more questions within your mind. I am driving. How safe can I drive my car? How, if you're already driving, how long can I drive? And what do I do? Should I stop driving? Should I lose my independence right away and drop my keys and take off my hands? And we all know we don't want to do that. And then what I can say, glaucoma automatically does not mean stop driving. There are stages of the disease we are looking at the early stage, moderate stage. Yes, you can actually drive, but when you want to talk about driving, we are not just talking about seeing alone. Assuming you come to the clinic and you are able to read the chart and you are even good at reading the chart from top to bottom, and you have a 6/6 vision, that's a near normal vision or normal vision. And then when you are on the steering, you can easily look at the number plate. So what is this doctor talking about? You have more question. Now, let me make it clear that glaucoma does not automatically stop you from driving, but ability to drive or your fitness to drive depends on your vision, your two eyes working together, put together. That is called the binocular vision. Okay, this working together is important because you have what you call depth perception. Okay, you want to be sure what you are seeing, and then you want to be sure of your visual acuity, and that is the chart we are talking about at the doctor's office, how many lines you are able to read. Then we have this contrast sensitivity. Contrast sensitivity is how much can you really see, assuming you are wearing a white cloth and what is at the background is a lighter background. Can you comfortably distinguish these two color contrast? If you have a white on black, yes, it might be easy. But if you have a white on cream, it may not be easy. So at the earlier phases, this contrast sensitivity start going down. And there is also what you call glares. Glares are like light reflections. Okay, your ability to tolerate bright light. You are driving. As a driver, you know that when sunlight falls on you, it naturally hits your eye, and your eye shies away, and you may not be able to bounce back instantly. And it gets worse in the case of glaucoma. Okay, now if you are driving at night, reflection from headlights gets difficult. Even in the daytime, if it is a rainy day and there is a puddle of water somewhere, the reflection there makes it difficult to make judgments. And then the misaligned street light can give you wrong signals on your sight. So these are all important points. And another concept is your ability to have dark adaptation, meaning can you adapt when the place is dark? Can you navigate your way? So these are different components coming together. Having said that, how if you are a glaucoma patient and you have an early stage of glaucoma, and you ask your doctor, it is always good to ask your doctor, am I safe to drive? And if the doctor can as well tell you yes. At the early stages, most of the time you do not have problems navigating the roads, but always be mindful at the early stage your side vision or the peripheral vision goes down. Now when it goes down, you might have a passerby or pedestrian or walker, civilian walking on the walkway, or so we don't really have walkways everywhere by the side, and you are unable to detect this person. For some reason, you scratch the patient, scratch the individual, or knock down the individual. You now put yourself in trouble and another individual walking along the road in trouble. Sometimes as a driver, you have to switch lanes from one lane to, you are moving on the road on a highway, you are moving from one lane to the next lane. When you want to move, you may not be clearly seeing the vehicle coming by the side. And you know, as a driver, your side vision is still important. You need to know what is at your back. Otherwise, you may not be able to move to the next line. Otherwise, you can expect a crash.
Yeah.
So these things are very, very important. Sometimes in our midst, there are a lot of KKs, tricycles and motorbikes. They don't also obey the rules and regulations of the road. And now they pose a lot of hazards to you as a driver on the road, and you have to be very vigilant. If you are a glaucoma patient, you do yourself some extra favor by turning your head to know whether something is by the side. It is absolutely important because your side vision may not be good.
Okay, sorry. Okay, but trying to understand this as drivers, okay, because many drivers, just like you said, may not notice, these changes in their vision until something unexpected happens on the road. But as a driver now, what are some warning signs that could indicate that a person's vision is no longer adequate or safe to drive?
Yes, as a driver, if you happen to have frequent accidents or scratches by the side for some reason, please ask questions. You must not wait for that to happen. And there's another component I failed to discuss is the visual field. Okay, the visual field is the one that detects how much side vision that is actually left with you.
Yeah.
And if you do the test, you know this is the visual field you have with you. So that can be a guide. So if you are a driver, you do yourself a favor by taking a check with an eye doctor and know the status of your eye. You must not have an experience, please, because sometimes you enter a pothole because you did not detect the pothole in time. Okay, your depth perception might be going down, so your ability to assess things, because your field may not be good, then you are beginning to have a problem. You suddenly put your tires inside the inside that ditch, and you can, if you are speeding, you can trip you over, or you can have a problem on the road, and you don't need to have all this. And you must not have a visible accident. You are driving, you are unable to see some traffic signs. It's not good enough to say that yes, I can see the number plate, yes, I can see the oncoming vehicle, but when do I apply this brake? Can I apply the brake while driving because I detected an obstacle, like something in front of you ahead of time? Or did I have a problem? Did I miss it? So these are subtle things you are going to be noticing. When you notice that, you know there might be challenge in that you're aside. So it is good for you to now take a stroll to the eye doctor. These are subtle warning signs, okay? Because you might not also appreciate the distance between two vehicles. You might be thinking it is close or far, depending on, so you are moving, but suddenly you realize that vehicle is closer than what you think. Okay?
Yeah.
So there are challenges. When you are trying to park a car, you might be having a problem assessing where exactly you are parking. Are you parking really where you are supposed to park, or you are veering off? So don't wait for a collision to happen or knock an individual before you start. There are subtle warning signs. Can you appreciate a brake light of the next car? Okay? Or are you an individual whose eye gets scattered by the bright lights of the car or the sunlight, and you are not able to bounce back fast and cope? Is there any other problem in your eye? Do you want to wait until the problem gets worse before you start going to see the doctor?
Okay, but for someone already receiving treatment for glaucoma, how much difference does proper treatment and regular follow care make in preserving the vision needed for driving?
Okay, very good question. Your treatment, whatever treatment option you have adapted, know that glaucoma treatment does not reverse what you have lost. Anything that has been lost is permanently lost.
Okay.
If you have lost 10% before seeing the doctor, you have lost it. If you have lost 20%, you have lost it. No part of this is returning to you. So the missing gaps in your vision that is being compensated by the other eye or your brain try to help by fixing the puzzles is still at that stage wherever you were diagnosed. Okay, so it is the treatment is only stabilizing your state. Okay, and you must understand that part. Glaucoma remains glaucoma. The what you have lost is gone, only that you want to preserve what is left with you for your future. Sometime even as you are taking the treatment, things can still be getting worse. We have discussed this once. Okay, and you might have to switch other treatment and all that, but a treatment is not a guarantee that yes, I am free to do everything I want to do. It much still depends on the stage of the disease.
Interesting. Okay, and looking at all of this we have discussed, we have established the fact that yes, it is not safe to continue driving if someone has been diagnosed with glaucoma. But what factors determine whether it is safe for such person to remain behind the wheels?
If you have early glaucoma to moderate, you can actually drive. Okay, the factors you need to consider are what is this stage of the disease? Can I really appreciate an oncoming vehicle? Can I appreciate traffic signs? Can I appreciate number plates? Can I know that there are pedestrians by the sides? Or if do I make conscious effort to know whether there is anything by the side? Okay, these things are very, very important. And then always check with an ophthalmologist, do a visual field test to be sure how much you have in your sight vision. Then ensure that speeding on the lanes as a glaucoma patient may not be very advisable. Then try as much as possible to avoid nighttime driving. Nighttime, your dark adaptation, ability to adapt into that dim vision may be very difficult, and that might be the time they wear off and fall into ditches and all that. So it might be you might have to take your mind off and say this nighttime driving may not be absolutely necessary for me. And try not to navigate crowded areas so much, so that way you can play safe. You know these areas are roughly crowded. This is nowhere I can conveniently take my car, especially those that have moderate glaucoma. Then if you are a private car owner, things are easier for you to decide. And then some other tips you have to be very sure of: are your driving mirrors intact? You know, this is a country, a lot of things are not working well. Your side mirrors are absolutely important for you to drive. Your driving mirror is important for you. For some reason there was a knock and the side mirror falls off or is cracked, we keep managing it. Or even when you know your vision is bad, you try to manage such condition. Please, you cannot manage such condition because driving needs absolute concentration, and that you are already having a problem with your sight. You cannot give, already you have some kind of blind spots, that is some dark areas that is given to you by your eye. Those are the missing gaps from peripheral vision. Now your side mirror is gone. That means it is more problem. You have double tragedy facing you. So these are things you can eliminate yourself and make sure you all these things are intact if you want to be on the road. Avoid nighttime driving is absolutely important.
Absolutely important, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm sure you are following this very important discussion that we are having. Yes, many of us on the roads driving, not paying close attention to the status of our eyes, and Doc has made us understand that once we start experiencing these signs, scratches left, right, center, and not getting to see your rear view very well, we should, go ask questions and take a proper eye examinations. Yes, the phone lines are now open, so feel free to call in and join the discussion. The numbers are 0704 550 2840, 0909 771 1009, and you can also call 0902 311 1009. Yes, those are the numbers to call to ask your questions and be part of the conversation. And yes, we would love to hear from you, our listeners. So if you've got any questions about glaucoma, vision, eye health, or today's discussion, now is the time to join that conversation. Please remember to keep your question brief so that we can accommodate as many callers as possible. To the phone lines, hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Is that the program on glaucoma?
Yes, it is. Good to have you. What's your name?
Elder Okoro from Abakaliki State.
Elder, good to have you.
Elder Okoro from Abakaliki State.
Good to have you. Go on.
Please, can you explain what is eye floating or eye floater? A visual problem. Let me understand. And is it visible? Eye floater, eye floating, or
eye floating.
Eye floating or eye floater.
Okay, eye floating or eye floater. All right, gotcha. Thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Okechukwu from Ebonyi State.
Mr. Okechukwu, welcome.
Please, I have a question.
Go on.
I want to press center about eye treatment. So they told me that one of my right eyes, there's glaucoma and cataract in one eye, and the other one there's glaucoma only. Is it possible?
Okay. Is it possible? That's what you're asking. Any other thing?
No.
All right. Just keep listening. Doc would answer. Doc, the two questions.
Yes, thank you for those questions. The first question is from Mr. Elder in Abakaliki. You asked about eye floaters. Floaters are like some cobweb-like black or cobweb-like particles moving around the eye.
Cobwebs?
Yes,
or
okay. Tiny fly moving around the eye. Or wherever your eye moves, it follows you. Okay. But most of the time, it may not be a significant challenge, except that it can be distressing you because it follows you. You try to catch it, you can't catch it. But sometimes it can be, when it persists, you have to really consider doing a checkup, because sometimes those things, there is a liquid gel that holds the eye in place that is called the vitreous gel. as you age or when you have an injury to the eye, it sometimes tend to liquefy. The gel means it's like close-up. Many of us are familiar with close-up toothpaste. The gel-like nature, but this time it is crystal clear. But it now becomes watery, so it becomes separated. Okay, when it happens that way, it begins to give you those images like cobwebs moving in the field of vision. But sometimes it is associated with lightning sensation. You need to be very careful. You need to come for a dilated eye examination because it may not be glaucoma we are working with. It might be a premonition or a sign of early retinal detachment. It may be there, it may not be there. It might just be an aging change, but on the worst side there can be a retinal detachment. So you just want to be sure that you don't have a problem. If the doctor examine and tell you nothing is there, then go home, settle down. Okay.
The second question.
The second question is from Mr. Okechukwu in Ebonyi State. He has cataract and glaucoma in one eye, right eye, and glaucoma in the other left eye.
Is it possible?
It is highly possible. Cataract usually is an aging change, but sometimes it can follow other problems also. Glaucoma is an independent problem affecting the optic nerve. You can even have 4-5 conditions. You can have cataract, you can have glaucoma, you can have diabetic retinopathy, you can have retinal detachment.
On one eye?
You can have age-related macular degeneration. All of them occurring in the same eye. Just consider eye as a body. In the human body, you have liver, spleen, kidney, heart, the brain. Any part of this body can be affected. Likewise, in the case of
the eyes.
In the case of the eye, you have the cornea, you have the lens, you have the vitreous, you have the aqueous humor, you have the optic nerve, you have the retina, you have the macula, you have different parts of the eye. So the different parts can be involved, and each and every one of them can independently be sick, or they can all be sick at the same time. Okay. So it's just good to know that.
All right, just good to know. So yes, for the first question, it has been answered. The second question, you heard it. Very, very likely that you can feel both cataracts and glaucoma on one eye and glaucoma on the other eye. And please, you need to go for checkups. All right, let's continue with the phone lines. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, speaker. Yes.
Morning to you.
Babu to Accra.
Welcome.
First of all, let me challenge the television by bringing us this enactment from the studio. So I want to ask your guest. I know she's the student concerning eye. My own personal, as a Babu, I did a cataract surgery on one of my eyes. Okay, left side of my eye. There, see, I'm not very clear. But I join mostly when I'm driving in the night. If any motor is coming to my side, it makes me to sit down so that that motor will pass. But if I'm coming with that come on my phone, I will see clear. If, as I'm talking now, something coming from my eye, something black, I want to try to look. I will see something black going on the particular eye. So again, I want your guest to give us her number. Gradually so that we'll capture the number. So after this medical program, if someone gets chances to go to the office where we will see her, explain more. And Chris here. And when we are one-on-one with people, directly to the picture, and you need to, everybody that doesn't go. You speak off. Another operation, another plan I'm talking about.
All right, Babu.
Well, I thank you. Welcome, Madam, on your go bless you.
Amen.
Thank
Thank you. All right. Thank you, Babotu. Just so you know, before we would wrap up the program, we would roll out the test hotlines. That is a number for you to call for information or book an eye examination. We would give you the number before the end of the program. Or yes, let me do that now. The number is so if you're ready, the number is 0809 700 2020. Once again, 0809 700 2020. So if you know your question is one that would need you to speak to someone, an expert, for a very very long time, you can reach out to that number, and I'm sure you'll be directed to the right persons to attend to you. All right, so thank you. The phone line still open, so feel free if you've got any question. Let's have that question. And yes, Doc is right here in the studio, and I'm sure she will give you instant answers to your questions. 0704 550 2840 0909 771 1009, and you can also call 0902 311 1009. Yes, don't forget our topic for discussion this morning: behind the wheels with glaucoma, driving safely and responsibly. So if you know you are a driver, yes, you have been having one or two issues with your eyes while driving, well, now is the time to ask those questions and get enlightened. But Doc, I've got a question on my own. Okay, Enugu is a place and a place where we have so many commercial vehicles on our roads. Okay, we have the keke, the minibus drivers, the bigger bus drivers, the motorcyclists, and all of that. Is this a place where we are going to have persons with glaucoma and yet still driving on our roads?
A lot of glaucoma patients are still drivers, and they are taking a lot of passengers and moving. Some are small commercial vehicle owners, some are big vehicles, some also drive very large vehicles like the tankers. If you're a glaucoma patient, especially if you have an advanced glaucoma or moderate to advanced glaucoma, we don't really advise you to be a tanker driver, a trailer driver. You are at risk of your own person, at risk of harming an oncoming vehicle. You are prone to accident, and accidents, it doesn't really involve only you alone. It goes with a cost. It has other people are involved, so you are an object of, how do I put it now, there is a lot of concerns around you, the passengers, yourself, passerby. So many people are involved, so taking responsibility to your eyesight, for your eyesight, is very very important. For any reason you are having some challenge with your eye, take a personal responsibility to check your eye. And if the doctor says you have an advanced glaucoma, I know our country, our environment may not be that easy. We don't have social services that supports you, but try to have a plan B of earning a living by trying to switch to another mode of job, so that you can remain safe. Your life is very important to you and to your family before every other person, and you are not an individual that is interested in harming yourself and harming others. So try to play safe. And even for commercial bus drivers, likewise, you have to take responsibility to know that if your vision is having some challenge, make sure your eyes are checked. It is that, and the drivers are also at the same speed. Everybody wants to make money, the number of trips you make and all that. You can't really do a trip in the night. You can't speed. try to see what you can actually do with your sight. Limit your activities to what you can really do and what you cannot do, because you are not only going to harm yourself, you are going to harm other people. In a way of advice, the commercial agencies that have transporters, that are transporters, should take an extra mile to check the eye tested before they accept their drivers to be on the road. It is a personal responsibility you must do, so that you are not harming the citizens of the state and the nation. It is your responsibility, even though the Federal Road Safety Commission is involved. For some reason, we know in Nigeria a lot of things don't work the way it should work. A driver can go and seek a care elsewhere and tell you to write, this is my report, and it is gotten without knowing that you are even going to be a harm to yourself and to others. It is important that we do the appropriate things. You can liaise with hospitals that are doing eye check for these drivers and ensure that before they are put on the wheels to drive their vehicles, let them have their eye tested. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have glaucoma, you are not going to drive, but you can let them know. For instance, you are driving a big bus. You can easily tell the organization, this bus driver shouldn't drive this vehicle in the night. He can rather do it at the daytime, or because of his condition, he may not be able to apply this a speed lane or high lanes. He can do this kind of work. So it is good to know that the job you are doing is certified by a body that is involved in screening your eye. Don't go and get papers everywhere. There are too many people that can give you and put the paper and give it to you. That is not right.
Okay, well, that is not right as well. And let's say, apart from glaucoma itself, ma'am, are there particular situations such as, driving at night, now that we are in raining season, during rainfall or in heavy traffic, that may be more challenging for someone living with glaucoma?
Yes, very important question. I forgot to mention that during rainy season, even a person with good sight has challenges because everywhere look misty. Now, a patient or an individual with glaucoma, the vision is already misty. The vision is somehow smoky, and driving might be difficult. So if you are a driver and you have gone somewhere and it is raining, you might want to wait a while before you move into the steering. And when you are driving, try as much as possible to keep your windscreen clean so that you can see the oncoming vehicle. For some reason you are caught up in the night and you can't get back, please drop your vehicle wherever you are. Try to lock it up or take it to a safe end. Try to, if you have to reach your destination, please use a commercial vehicle and go. You have to remain safe. It is only when your life is intact you can continue with your life. If something happens to your life, you don't continue. Even yesterday, I had a patient who was telling me, I had an emergency. I was not used to driving in the night, but then I had to drive and my car fell into the ditch in the night. So you know it will happen, and it happens. So you can prevent some of these preventable issues. And sometimes you also have drivers, both commercial and private drivers, with only one eye. And one eye has gone to other causes. It can be glaucoma that took away the sight. It can be other problem. You have lost vision in one eye and you only have one eye and you are on the road driving. You have a problem with depth perception. Thus, you may not be able to assess the oncoming vehicle, how far it is, how big, how small. You may not until the vehicle is very close to you, because your own missing spot or blind spot is larger than the person that ordinarily has glaucoma. Now, you have to make conscious effort to turn your head to the side that is not seeing, to be sure what is on that side. You must learn to look over your shoulders to see your back on that side, so that you can be sure of whatever you are seeing. And if something happen and you lose your sight today in one eye, do not begin to go to the road the next day. You just have to get yourself adapted first before moving on to the road. Now, it is worse for you if the better eye, now the seeing eye, it also has glaucoma. Then you want to be more careful handling yourself. If you can only go out only if there is your vision is good, at least mild to moderate glaucoma. If it is advanced, please do not drive.
If it's advanced, do not drive. But Doc, finally, what would be your strongest message to our listeners today about protecting their eyesight while protecting their lives on our roads?
It is important as a driver to protect your own life, protect your own sight, and you have the responsibility to protect the life of others on the road. So you are, as a road user, you owe yourself that responsibility, the passerby that responsibility, the pedestrian that is walking don't need to be hit by you, because he needs not be a victim. So take some time, go check your eye and be sure that your vision is good before you are on the steering. If you are already engaged in a profession of driving, please, at certain stage, you might even have to opt to change your job, because it's a sensitive job. So think through it.
All right, think through it. Well, Doc, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us today. It has certainly been a very, very, interesting and eye-opening discussion. And to the listeners, one important lesson from today's program is that driving safely is not just about confidence behind the wheel. Some can say, what are they saying? I sabi drive, nothing they happen. It is all about healthy vision. And yes, we have been made to understand that glaucoma can silently affect the vision you depend on to detect the pedestrians on the roadside, and also safely help in change lanes, and noticing vehicles approaching from the side and responding quickly to unexpected hazards. So that is why regular eye examinations are so important, especially if you drive frequently or have already been diagnosed with glaucoma. And if you notice any changes in your vision, please don't ignore them. Seek professional care promptly. Don't just say, I will manage, or you go and meet somebody to mix something for you to drink, saying it's going to solve your problem. No, follow your prescribed glaucoma treatment and attend to regular follow-up appointment, because protecting your sight also means protecting your lives and the lives of everyone who share the road with you. So for more information or to book an eye examination, contact the eye specialist hospital Tesh on the number 0809 700 2020. Once again, 0809 700 2020. Once again, thank you for tuning into the Glaucoma on Radio on Solid 100.9 FM. That is brought to you by the Eye Specialist Hospital Tesh, Enugu State, in partnership with Solid 100.9 FM. Chibike James is my name. Dr. Swaya Okeke also right here. Until next time, remember that your sight is precious. Protect it, preserve it, and never take it for granted.